Good afternoon, children. In the last class we have discussed about the making of nationalism in Europe. Today we want to discuss about that point's continuation. The first subtopic was the aristocracy and the new middle class. So today we are discussing about the aristocracy and the new middle class. Here, socially and politically, a landed aristocracy was the dominant class on this continent, and the members were united by a common way of life that cut across regional divisions. They spoke French for diplomacy and in high society. So their language, they will speak into French language for the diplomacy and in high society. Numerically, they were a small group. Majority of population were peasants. West, the bulk of land formed by tenants and small owners. The majority of the population were the peasants. In the western side, the bulk of the land farmed by the tenants and the small owners. Central and Eastern Europe, the vast estates were cultivated by serfs. Western and the Central Europe, the industrial production also increased. What happened in the industrial production increasing? What is the result? New towns also emerged. And the industrialization started in England. Children, you know that the industrialization first started in England. That is started in second half of the 18th century. But it occurred in France and parts of German states in 19th century. Then new social groups also came, like the working class industrialists, businessmen, professionals also emerged. These were the new social groups. Then at the same time, Central and Eastern Europe, these groups were smaller till late 19th century. That means their numbers are very numerically, that is very low. Among here, an educated middle class, that ideas of national unity following the abolition of aristocratic privileges gained popularity. The abolition of aristocratic privileges gained popularity. The next topic is, what did liberal nationalism stand for? In the early 19th century, Europe were closely allied to the idea of liberalism. In the early 19th century, Europe closely allied to the idea of liberalism. The term liberalism derives from the Latin root liber. It means free. The liber means free. Then, for the new middle classes, the liberalism stood for freedom for the individual and equality before law. Politically, it means as the concept of government by consent. Since the French Revolution, liberalism stood for the end of autocracy and clerical privileges, a constitution and representative government through parliament. Equality before the law did not stand for universal suffrage. The word meaning of universal suffrage, that is the right to vote. Here, the universal suffrage, that is suffrage means the right to vote. This was recalled the revolutionary France. The right to vote gave property owning men. Then Jacobins did all adult males enjoy suffrage. The Napoleonic Code reduced the women's status. Throughout in 19th and early 20th centuries, women and non-propertied men organized opposition movements demanding equal political rights. The economic liberalism stood for the freedom of markets and the abolition of state-imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capital. During 19th century, emerging new middle class demanding the liberalism. They also need the liberalism. The Napoleon's administrative measures created countless small principalities. That is, created a confederation of 39 states. Each of these states possessed its own currency and weights and measures. Duties often levied according to the weights of the goods. Each region had its own weights and measures, involved time-consuming calculations. The measure of cloth in each region also different. That is, in L, that is an example, they have to consider LA. LA, that is the measurement of cloth, that is known into the LA. An LA of textile material brought in Frankfurt, this was an example, would get 54.7 centimeter of cloth. And such conditions were viewed as obstacles to economic exchange and growth by the new commercial classes. In 1834, a customs union, that is known into Zollverein. In 1834, a customs union also formed. This was known as Zollverein. This was formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by most of the German states. The union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from over 30 to 2. A wave of economic nationalism strengthened the wide nationalist sentiments growing at that time. So you please remember Zollverein, that is the customs union. This was formed in 1834, led by Prussia